Time for some football depression. Today we've got the day Brazil was broken by the football narrative. Be sure to go check out the original video from Football Narrative in the description down below, because we always want to make sure we're supporting the creators that actually make these videos that a lot of us watch and react to. To this day, I still think doing reaction content really isn't that innovative in any way, shape, or form, but I'm just here to learn more about football. So be sure to go check out the original video. Without further ado, let's get to it. This time we've got something that's going to be a little bit more depressing. The day that Brazil was broken, they lost 7-1 to Germany, which is absolutely insane. Apparently, I'm seeing like some of the thumbnails from some of the other suggestions related to this night, and seeing everybody just so sad and heartbroken and whatever. It's pretty rough, it looks like. And this was what, 11 years ago? Yeah, World Cup 2014. Okay.
7 goals.
It's 7.
It's
7.
Nation in tears. And the end of a footballing empire that once ruled the world. All of this unfolded on July 8th, 2014, in what is now known as the most humiliating defeat in football history, the 2014 World Cup semi-final between Brazil and Germany. This game wasn't just a loss, it was a national tragedy, and it didn't just kill a dream, it killed a dynasty.
Would that count as a dynasty, since there's so many of those?
But here's the thing,
years apart?
This humiliation didn't come out of nowhere. Brazil had carried the weight of a football-mad nation for decades.
Right.
They were the kings of the beautiful game. Brazil's legacy as the greatest footballing nation in the world was untouchable. They had won the World Cup 5 times. 1958, 1962, 1970, 1994, and 2002. Legends like Pelé, Romario, Ronaldo, and Ronaldinho had carried the nation's dreams on their shoulders.
Right.
But this time, in 2014, the stakes were even higher. Brazil was hosting the World Cup for the first time since 1950, a year that still haunted them because of the infamous Maracanazo loss to Uruguay in the final. This was their chance to erase the pain of the past and reclaim glory on home soil. The 2014 squad, led by Neymar, seemed destined to succeed. But then, disaster struck. Neymar, their brightest star, fractured his vertebra in the quarter-final against Colombia, ruling him out of the semi-final. To make matters worse, Captain Thiago Silva was suspended. The nation still believed, but cracks were forming. And on that fateful night in Belo Horizonte, their crown was shattered into a million pieces. And as Brazil limped into the semi-final, their opponents, Germany, were approaching the game from a completely different place, a team that had been ruthless, precise, and dominant from the very start of the tournament. Brazil's journey had been anything but smooth. They topped their group, but their performances were far from convincing.
It's actually interesting because this is the same World Cup that Argentina lost in 2014 that basically almost convinced Messi to basically call it quits, right? You know? So damn, dude. South America took a whooping this time, man. Argentina with a heartbreak, Brazil with an even arguably harder heartbreak. I mean, wow. And did this start Neymar's like journey with injuries pretty much? Because that poor man has had so many damn injuries, it's not even funny.
A tense penalty shootout win against Chile and a bruising victory over Colombia brought them to the semi-final.
I just thought I got a text
Germany,
message, dude.
On the other hand, were a machine. They crushed Portugal 4-0, survived a thrilling draw against Ghana, and edged past the USA to win their group.
We tried.
In the knockouts, they outlasted Algeria in extra time and silenced France with a clinical 1-0 win. The stage was set. The atmosphere in Estadio Mineral was electric. Over 70,000 fans packed the stadium, waving their green and yellow flags, chanting for the Selecao. But no one could have predicted what was about to unfold. When the match kicked off, Brazil came out like a team possessed. They pressed high, pushed forward, and pinned Germany in their own half. In the first minute, Fernandinho's relentless effort won a corner, setting the tone for what the fans hoped would be a magical night.
Right.
Just 2 minutes later, Marcelo found a pocket of space on the left flank, cut inside, and fired a low shot from outside the box which went just wide of the post. For those first few minutes, Germany seemed rattled, unable to break out of their defensive shape. Then it happened. In the 11th minute, Germany won a corner. Toni Kroos floated the ball into the box, and there, completely unmarked, was Thomas Müller. He had time, space, and the composure to volley the ball past Julio.
Of course it's Thomas Müller.
And Germany lead Müller. Thomas Müller.
Oh wait, so Thomas is a World Cup win. I actually didn't know that. Maybe I didn't I pay attention to that in one of the videos we reacted to about him. Oh, okay. Well, damn, he really is a legend. Holy smokes.
From the corner, puts Germany in front.
With his
1-0
weird
Germany.
kick, what is
The
that?
Brazilian crowd fell silent for the first time that night. This wasn't supposed to happen, but as shocking as that goal was, no one could have imagined what was coming next.
Yeah.
The Brazilian crowd tried to rally their team after Muller's early goal. The chants got louder, the flags waved harder, and for a brief moment, there was hope.
Right.
This is Brazil, they will come back. But that hope didn't last long. In the 23rd minute, Germany struck again. It was a quick passing move that sliced through Brazil's midfield. Miroslav Klose received the ball in the box, took a shot that was saved, but reacted quickest to bury the rebound.
For Muller, Klose, brilliant save, Klose scores, historic goal, Germany 2, Brazil 0.
2-0. And with this goal, Klose made history. It was his 16th World Cup goal, making him the all-time leading scorer in World Cup history, surpassing Brazil's own legend, Ronaldo. For the Brazilian fans, the heartbreak was doubled. It wasn't just a goal, it was a record broken at their expense.
Does that record still hold up to this day? Has anybody ever broken that? Did Messi break that? I don't think he broke that.
Fans in the stands began looking at each other in disbelief, but Germany wasn't done. Barely a minute later, in the 24th minute, Brazil's defence collapsed entirely. Toni Kroos pounced on a loose ball outside the box and smashed it into the net to make it 3.
Muller through, Muller could be embarrassing, it's 3.
Oh, that's really
Brazilian
bad.
players were shell-shocked. But before they could even regroup, in the 26th minute, disaster struck again. A catastrophic mistake in midfield left Brazil completely exposed.
Oh, there's no defenders back
Kroos
there,
and Sami
dude.
Khedira exchanged passes like it was a training drill, slicing through the defense with ease.
Man.
Kroos, calm as ever, tapped the ball into the net for his second goal of the game.
God.
It's Times Square, Klose, it's
This is an ass whooping, dude. We might need to watch this on the
Stadio
Patreon.
Mineirão, packed with over 70,000 fans, was now a theatre of despair. People were crying, heads were in their hands, and some began leaving their seats. But the nightmare wasn't over. Just 3 minutes later, in the 29th minute, Sami Khedira added Germany's 5th goal.
Khedira, 5-0. 5-0.
It was too easy. Germany passed their way through a helpless Brazilian defence, and Khedira calmly finished. In just 30 minutes, Germany had destroyed Brazil's World Cup dream. The chants, the cheers, the pride, it all disappeared, replaced by stunned silence and tears. The players on the pitch looked broken, standing still as Germany celebrated their complete domination. The first half wasn't even over, but the empire Brazil had built over decades was already in ruins. As the whistle blew for halftime, the scoreline read Germany 5, Brazil 0.
What the hell are you supposed to do?
Brazilian players walked off the pitch with their heads down, their faces marked with disbelief and despair. But what the world didn't know was that Germany made a conscious decision at this point, not to push harder, but to ease off. German centre-back Mats Hummels later revealed that the team discussed how to approach the second half with respect. We just made it clear that we had to stay focused and not try to humiliate them, Hummels said. We said we had to stay serious and concentrate at half-time. It was important we played our game for 90 minutes.
I respect that.
The second half began, and there was more pain incoming for the Brazilians. 69th minute. Philippe Lahm, Germany's captain, made a clever run down the right wing. He cut the ball back into the box, where Andre Schürrle, fresh off the bench, was waiting. With a simple tap-in, Schürrle made it 6-0.
For 6, and Andre Schürrle.
I mean, I respect the humbleness, at least. You know, they still know they're in Brazil. They know they're in their country. At the end of the day, like, just doing this would just be, it's unnecessary, you know? It's kind of like a mercy ruling at this point, but then they still press on anyway and score a few more times.
By now, the stadium was almost silent, except for the small group of German fans celebrating in the corner. For Brazil, this goal marked something painful. They had just equaled their biggest ever defeat. Andre Schürrle struck again in the 79th minute, and this time, it was a moment of brilliance. Mesut Ozil found him with a precise pass on the left. From a tight angle, he unleashed a powerful shot that rattled the inside of the post and went in.
It's
7-0 Germany. This goal made history. Brazil had now suffered their worst defeat ever, and there were still minutes left to play. the German players celebrated quietly, fully aware of the devastation they had caused. In the 90th minute, Brazil finally found the back of the net, but the damage had already been done. The scoreboard read 7-1, but there was no cheer, no celebration. Even the goal scorer, Oscar, looked dejected as he jogged back to the centre circle. When the referee blew the final whistle, the nightmare was finally over. For a team that hadn't lost a competitive home game since 1975 with 62 match unbeaten, this loss was just catastrophic.
Holy smokes.
The Brazilian players fell to the ground, some staring blankly, others breaking into tears.
And they're praying
David Luiz, who had been tasked with leading the team in Thiago Silva's absence, apologised to the nation in his post-match interview.
Desculpa a todo mundo. Desculpa a todos os brasileiros. Só queria ver meu povo sorrindo.
I just wanted to bring happiness to my people, he sobbed. The fans in the stands were devastated. Many had left early, unable to watch the full 90 minutes. Those who stayed either cried or sat in stunned silence, struggling to process what they had just witnessed. Germany's performance in this match didn't just secure their place in the final, it rewrote history in ways no one would have imagined. 7-1. The largest margin of victory ever in a World Cup semi-final.
That is insane,
no team had been
man.
dismantled like this at this stage.
Yeah, it's just
For
straight
Brazil,
embarrassment.
it wasn't just a defeat. It became their worst loss in history, surpassing a 6-0 defeat from 1920. Germany's attack
Over
was
100 years
relentless.
ago, so almost.
Between the 23rd and 29th minutes, they scored 4 goals, setting the record for the fastest 4 goals in World Cup history. By the 29th, they had added a 5th, breaking another record for the fastest 5 goals ever scored. At halftime, the score was 5-0, Germany's largest halftime lead in World Cup history. By the end, their 7 goals made them the highest scoring team in World Cup history,
Wait a minute.
overtaking Brazil with 223 goals.
Are you telling me that this not only was just straight devastation because of the scoreboard, but they just straight up broke like 10 different records? Oh, man. That's just adding insult to injury, because I can guarantee nobody was thinking about this kind of stuff in the moment, but imagine you go on like Google afterwards and this pops up. Oh yeah, by the way, with you guys losing that game, Germany broke like 10 different records. Oh, that's insane.
For Brazil, the records were devastating. This was the most goals ever conceded by a host nation in a World Cup and marked the end of their 62-match unbeaten streak at home, a run that had lasted nearly 40 years. The 7-1 wasn't just a loss. It was a national tragedy for Brazil. On their own soil, in front of their own fans, they had suffered their worst defeat ever. For a team with 5 World Cup titles and decades of dominance, it was the death of a dynasty.
Well, that was freaking depressing. Holy smokes, man. All right, I didn't know it was all that, all the records broken and all that other stuff. I mean, wow. Talk about insult to injury. We might watch that final for the Patreon, despite how depressing it is, because I've got a few different ones I'm going to be recording this week, especially with some of the UCL stuff that we had going too, especially with Juventus and Galatasaray. I think that's how you say their name. That was one heck of a match, but we might put this in the rotation because damn, wasn't even close. Oh my God. All right, I just found this clip of Brazilian supporters cheering after the 7th goal. All right, well, I can respect this. I mean, this is after the 7th goal. I mean, what can you do? The Germans are getting drunk. This dude's having a laugh. All the Brazilians look depressed, like they just want to sleep on the highway. That's rough, dude. I can't tell if that's a Brazilian crowd cheering. Oh, no, it is. Okay. I mean, it's like, what can you do? You got to take your L in defeat, man. Or you got to take your L. You got to take your L. Can't win it all, man. Kind of, like I said, a little bit of an insult to injury here. God, man, this is 2014. I was just about to graduate high school too. Or I actually think I was out of high school by then. I had no idea none of this was going on once again. Wow, that is that's brutally depressing. Okay. Well, that was the day Brazil was broken. How have they done since the last two World Cups? The one that was in Russia and the one that was in Qatar. Didn't they make it to the quarters of Qatar? How do you think they're gonna do this year? Like, what's their squad looking like? I know they're kind of like going back and forth on if Neymar's gonna play or not. Like, we don't know if he's gonna get called up for the squad or not. Wouldn't be mad, honestly, if they did go in and actually win it, simply because it's probably Neymar's last hoorah as far as we're concerned, right? Oh, by the way, Brazil and Egypt will be having a friendly in my city, which is actually going to be really cool. So it's going to be June 6th. Definitely going to go to that, try to capture some footage of it. I don't think I'll be able to bring any of my cameras in there for the most part. If I can, though, you guys will have a very, 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 very fun vlog to watch. Well, anyway, that was a very depressing video. Let me know what you thought about the reaction in the comments down below. I want to hear your story from any Brazilians or any Germans on that day, like what you felt, or any football lovers in general, what you thought about this World Cup at the time, this semi-final, because damn, that's rough. Be sure to go check out Football Narrative. They're the ones that obviously made this video. We want to make sure we give them all the credit and love for all the cool content that they do. So thanks for watching again. This has been your boy Jay with another football reaction. To catch you next one. Have a great day. Peace.